Hey all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Mace Windu figure from Hasbro and see how it compares with the previously released S.H Figuarts version from Tomasi Nations. And a brief bio in multiple languages. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents, which include a soft goods robe and then his lightsaber. With the lightsaber, one thing you'll notice here is there are these markings on the blade. That's not the fault of the figure itself or Hasbro. That's thanks to my cat who found it on my table and decided that the lightsaber made for a good chew toy. That should not be a problem that you have with yours. Here's the culprit returning to the scene of the crime. Now the other thing you might notice about the lightsaber is the hilt here is a bit bent. That is the fault of Hasbro. That's how this came out of the packaging. This should be straight. He doesn't have like a curved lightsaber hilt like say Count Dooku. That's what it reminds me of. I almost thought maybe they gave me a Count Dooku lightsaber even though they haven't done Count Dooku in the 6-inch form yet. But as it is, you know, it looks like it just got warped in the packaging. If yours has that problem, you'll probably just want to take a hairdryer and straighten it out. But the detailing on it's not too bad. It's not as good as the S.H Figuarts version. I don't think it's quite as movie accurate. You got this little knob on the end here with the black, and then you've got this metallic silver. You've got the groove sculpted on the handle portion, and then some grooves sculpted in this gold portion as well. And then you've got the black and the gold on the tip. So I think the S.H Figuarts version is a little more accurate to how it actually looked in the movie. They're very similar, but again, I think the S.H Figuarts version 1 is a little more accurate. The hilt is also made with the Figuarts one is made with a more of, it feels like a die-cast type metal, whereas this is that more softer plastic, hence why it got bent or warped in the packaging. Now one thing also I want to note about this is you only get the one lightsaber hilt and there's no kind of tab or anything, so there is no way to attach the hilt when you don't have the blade on to his belt, which is a little bit unfortunate. With the S.H Figuarts version, they gave you two hilts, one with the blade and one without, and the one without had a little peg that you could plug into his belt. But they did not do that. They've done that with some of the other Black Series figures, but they did not do that with Mace. So either he can hold it in his hands or you'll have to set it off to the side. The robe is complete soft goods. It's just a cloth material. The hood doesn't fit that well on the figure. I mean, it's not horrible. I've seen worse, but you know, if you try and put the hood on there, it does look a little funny. So I don't know. It's better to keep the hood just pulled down to the back. And of course, the robe is removable. You can just slide it off his arms. So not a big deal. I am glad they included that with this figure though. Now for the figure itself, starting with the head sculpt, I think Hasbro's done a pretty good job with this one, capturing the likeness of Samuel L. Jackson. This is actually one of the places where I think this Black Series figure shines over the Tomasi Nations S.H Figuarts version. I think it looks much more like Samuel L. Jackson and how he looked in the Star Wars movies than the S.H Figuarts version. You can see a comparison of the two here. And again, I just think this head sculpt on the Black Series figure does look more like the actor. Now Hasbro's no stranger to doing Samuel L. Jackson head sculpts in this scale. They've previously done two versions for their Marvel Legend line. So we had the original Nick Fury from the Avengers movies and such with the bald head and the eye patch. And then we've got recently the younger version that'll appear in the Captain Marvel movie. And with this new one, with this Mace Windu version, I think this is actually the best Samuel L. Jackson head sculpt that they've done to date. For the rest of the figure, I think the overall detailing is pretty good. I like how they've done the robe here. So you've got this outer piece, which is made with a rubber material. And then you've got the undershirt there, which is done with a lighter cream color. It is very clean looking. There's not much in the way of any kind of paint wash to give you some dirt or anything like that, but that doesn't really bother me too much. The detailing on the belt is decent. You've got these little magazine things. I think they're for his lightsaber, but I'm not entirely sure. And most of them are silver, but he does have two two that are painted a metallic gold. He's got the pouch on the side there with some sculpting detail, and then he also has a pouch on this side, a smaller one, and one on the back. I do have a bit of a paint blemish where the brown looks like some of the brown paint from the belt got onto the robe portion, so that's really the biggest paint blemish I have on this figure. And you've got the metallic silver belt buckle, and you've got these little tabs that are painted silver. I think those are supposed to be gold. That's what color they are on the S.H Figuarts version, but I'm not entirely sure which one is accurate. Also, those little magazine things are on this side of the figure, the left side, and there's not as many of them. So again, I'm not entirely sure which one is more movie accurate, but I think they both look pretty good. This bottom piece is again done with a rubber material, so you can lift it up some so it doesn't limit the articulation too much. And then underneath there, he's wearing the kind of white colored pants, which again are very clean looking. And then he's got the dark brown boots, which seem to be pretty movie accurate as well. Okay, and here's a comparison of the S.H Figuarts with the Black Series figure. And the biggest difference between the two is mainly that the colors are a little bit different shade on the S.H Figuarts. The outer robe is a darker brown color. This undershirt is more of a cream color. You've got more of a white on the undershirt with the Black Series, and the robe is just a lighter color in general. The belts are very similar other than the placement of things like the little magazines and stuff. And then the pants, a little bit more of a cream on the Figuarts and more white on the Black Series. Now the Black Series figure is taller than the S.H Figuarts version, so if you're going to pose it with other Black Series figures, obviously the Black Series figure is going to fit in a little better scale wise. And the Hasbro figure comes in just under 6.5 inches tall, and the S.H Figuarts is right around 6.25 inches tall. And for some comparisons, here's a look at the Hasbro Black Series Mace Windu with the new Hasbro Black Series Battle Droid, which is also included in the same wave. And you can see the Battle Droid is a bit taller than Mace, which I do think is movie accurate. Here's a comparison of the Black Series Mace Windu with the Black Series Jango Fett figure. And finally, here's a comparison with Hasbro's Black Series Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi figures, as well as the Yoda figure. And overall, the scale between these four seems to be pretty good. Now, as far as articulation goes between the two figures, the S.H Figuarts version is definitely going to give you a bit more wider range of movement. However, the one downside to the S.H Figuarts in its articulation is, especially when it comes to like these elbow joints, those stick out rather badly. So I do think the articulation looks better on the Hasbro figure. And while the articulation is a little better on the S.H Figuarts, it's not bad on this Hasbro figure. So we'll go over it real quick. You can turn the head to the left and to the right, and he can look down about that much, and he can look up a little bit. You don't get much in the way of head pivot, so it's a little bit limited. That's definitely one of the places where the Figuarts is better. You know, you get more movement because the actual neck moves along with the head sculpt. Now with the elbows, or shoulders I should say, you've just got the ball hinge joint. So again, this is another area where the S.H Figuarts has more movement because you got that inner ball joint, and you've also got kind of that butterfly type joint in there. So definitely more movement, but you can get the arm, it rotates well, and you can get the arm out pretty good. So not a whole lot of complaints there, and you can get the arm back pretty good as well. With the elbows, you get the single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. And with these are about equal. You know, maybe you can bend this one a little bit more, but overall I would say it's pretty equal. And again, this is where these joints, I really don't like the way these joints look on the S.H Figuarts one. You also get rotation there with the Hasbro figure. With the hands, you've just got the hinges, so you've got some up and down movement, and of course you've got rotation. You've got a midsection joint, so you can rotate there at the midsection, and you can pivot to the left and the right. You don't get a whole lot in the way of crunch forward movement or back movement, so it's a little bit limited there. Now with the legs, you can do the splits pretty good there, because you've got the cuts in the lower portion of the tunic that he's wearing, and you can get the leg forward about that much, and you can only do the leg back about that much. Actually, you can get it back pretty good. He does have a thigh swivel. He's got a double hinged knee, so pretty good bending there at the knee. He does not have a boot cuff swivel. He has hinges on the feet, so up and down movement, and he does have ankle pivot. Now this is one of the areas where this figure is a little bit annoying to me, because the way the ankles are, first of all, the joints are a little bit soft there, so I would use caution when you're moving it around. But also, it's just because you can't get the foot forward as much as I would like. It's sometimes hard to keep him standing. He has a tendency to fall over. And of course, you also have 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. Now, if you're trying to decide which of the 2 figures to get, the S.H Figuarts or the Black Series from Hasbro, I would say the better bet is probably the Hasbro figure, just because I think the Hasbro figure looks better overall. The head sculpt looks much more like Samuel L. Jackson than the S.H Figuarts version. You do get a wider range of movement as far as articulation goes with the Figuarts, but it's not so much more so that I think it really, is that big a deal. You also have those joints that I think kind of stand out, especially there with the elbows poorly on the Figuarts. Now, the one area where I do think the Figuart shines much more than the Hasbro is with the lightsaber itself. I think the detailing on the hilt is better with the Figuarts version. The material used to make it is better, and I like the fact that you can attach it to the figure's belt. I think that is something Hasbro should have been able to include with their version. You do get the robe with the Hasbro version, but again, the main thing here is just the overall look I think is better. And the one other factor is just cost. The Hasbro figure costs 20 bucks and the Figuarts cost much more. Now, both figures are available now. We'll have a full image gallery up at JediInsider.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm getting real close to 50,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it. You should also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And of course, you can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.